and then takes us to the Cup race. I guess let's go ahead and talk about the big thing. All right. So, if you've been living on the rock, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace going for the same spot early in the race. When was this? Like second stage? First stage? Yeah, it's the second stage. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't remember. Yeah.
Anyway, early in the race.
Yeah.
Larson kind of shoots it in there 3 wide underneath Harvick and Bubba, skates up the hill, gets into Bubba a little bit. Bubba gets into the wall, and then Bubba comes off the wall and right hooks Kyle Larson on the front straightaway, spinning Larson into the wall, collecting Christopher Bell while also wrecking himself. All right, go ahead, Seth. Take it.
All right. I want to take this in 2 parts.
Okay.
Because there's 2 main things I'm angry about, or annoyed about, put it that way.
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with Kyle Larson right now?
Okay. All right.
I'm just going to get that part out of the way.
Elaborate.
Dude, he's been running people over all fucking year. He drives like he gives 0 fucks. Like, why? I don't understand. In the past, I've always been on Kyle for, like, I always thought he wasn't aggressive enough. Maybe I was the only one who felt that way. But so initially this year, when I started to see some aggression, other than like the Haley thing,
taking this koozie off. Anyway, go ahead.
Other than like the Justin Haley thing and I guess the Chase Elliott thing, but it was just like he was being a little more aggressive. I was like, okay, that didn't bother me. You know, there were a few instances that I wish he'd had back. And it's just continued on and on. Like, I swear to God, he's run over like 10 guys this year.
Yeah.
That might be over exaggerating, but it's just, where did this come from and why? I don't understand.
Yeah, I agree with you because Larson, here's kind of the gist of the situation. Kyle Larson he's run into a lot of people this year, and everybody has their breaking point, and Bubba, I think, hit it. Bubba obviously handled it poorly, but I think it's important that you said what you said, and then, that everyone kind of doesn't excuse what Kyle Larson's done, what Kyle Larson's part in the situation, based on recent history too with him. But that also obviously doesn't excuse Bubba.
No, they're two completely different in my head.
Exactly. And I guess go ahead with your second part or whatever.
All right. Yeah. So second part, completely ignoring who's involved in any capacity.
Okay.
You don't right hook a guy on the straightaway at a speedway.
Yeah.
There should be a 0 tolerance policy for this.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Harvick said it's the equivalent of throwing your gloves off in hockey.
Well, when you throw your gloves off in hockey, the other guy has to be okay with it. There's still a respect thing there.
Yeah. I mean, it was fucking bananas stupid. Like, it was, I don't understand. I understand knee-jerk reactions, but you were in the NASCAR Cup Series. You just can't do this, man. Like, you can't do this. Like, it's just, it doesn't even make sense, because it's like everything we've been through this year. Like, with drivers getting injured. I mean, you're in a guy's car who just announced he's retiring after getting an injury, and you're going 100 and however many miles an hour at Vegas, and you decide it's a good idea after being, like, kind of run into the wall. I mean, he was running into the wall, but it was, it could have gone either way with, how it was taken by the guy on the receiving end. And just the fact that just a knee-jerk reaction, you right hook a guy. You can't, like you said, 0 tolerance. You can't right hook people on the straightaway. You just can't do it. There's something he said for, running into their left rear and spinning them through the grass. Fair game, feel like that would have been warranted later in the race if he got back to him.
Yeah.
But there's no excuse for right hooking a guy. There's no excuse. Like, I mean, he took out Christopher Bell, innocent bystander there. I made a comment during the Denningham and Ross Chastain incident that I viewed that, and a lot of people are saying, well, people weren't mad about that. Why are they mad about this? Totally different situation. And two, that situation would have been okay had it not, kind of snowballed and taken out, Kevin Harvick and who else? It took out somebody else. Don't matter.
Yeah.
It took out other people. That's the thing. That's my thing with retaliation. One, you have to be better than to just blow your head off your shoulders and make a knee-jerk reaction and wreck somebody. Yep. Like, anyone in that Cup Series should be better than that. And two, you have to be, if you are going to retaliate on someone, you have to be smart enough to do it in a manner that doesn't take out other cars, especially a quasi teammate. Like, that's my whole thing. Is like, I don't have a problem with retaliation if it's done. You could do it in a classy manner, and that was about as low class as it comes. And I guess this raises the question of, should Bubba be suspended? What do you think?
I think he should. He obviously won't, but he should be.
Yeah. Okay. Now, why do you think he should be suspended?
Because there should be a zero tolerance policy for hooking a guy on the straightaway.
Okay.
Right hooking a guy on the straightaway.
Now, do you believe Jeff Gordon should have been suspended after Phoenix in 2012?
No.
No, you don't. Okay.
No.
Do you believe Matt Kenseth should have been suspended after Martinsville in 2015?
No.
No, you don't. Okay. Do you think Ty Gibbs should have been suspended after running into Ty Dillon on pit road a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe William Byron should have been suspended after spinning Denny Hamlin out under caution at Texas?
No.
No. Okay. Do you believe Ben Rhodes should have been parked or suspended for doing the same thing at Texas to Christian Neckes a couple years ago?
I don't fully remember the incident. Was it a right hook?
He did the same thing.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Gragson at Road America?
No.
Okay.
Wait.
All of those.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't think you think you're kind of in the middle there. You don't.
It comes down to the level of danger in the incident to me.
Okay. I think there is something to be said about the level of danger in the incident, but I think in all, however, 5 or 6 instances that I listed, I think they all should have been suspensions. I think every damn one of them should have been. Jeff Gordon should have probably not raced the rest of the season and should have been put on probation for the entirety of the next season. You not only took out a championship contender, and you took out 4 or 5 other guys. Matt Kenseth got suspended. I think he got his what he deserved there. Ty Gibbs, William Byron, we talked about that to death. Ben Rhodes, I think that's the clearest example. And if we're going by recent history and an example being set, then I guess technically Bubba Wallace should not be suspended. But like you said, it comes down to what should happen and what has happened in the past. Bubba should 100% be suspended for this. For how long? I don't know. I would be hard pressed to suspend him the rest of the year, but at least for 2 races, I feel like you kind of got to handle this in a, kind of maybe a Matt Kenseth situation. I don't know, but you kind of got to. My thing is, you kind of got to look at all these situations that are kind of similar, and I feel like all these are similar examples, and you got to look at it and think about what your views were, not just you, but everyone's views were on this situation and how to it be handled. Because I feel like a lot of people, jump on something based on biases towards driver and also just heat of the moment incidents. And I feel like if you look back at all this, think about what your feelings were on it, and
well, I wanted to go through. I want to go through at least a couple or 1 or 2 of these just to kind of put that out there, like where do we think the line is of where you should be suspended? So I think Bubba should be suspended for this because he right hooked a guy going at least 160 on the straightaway.
Yeah. I've always felt like it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you right hook. I feel like there should be a baseline penalty, but then it should be in, it should like a penalty on pit road. Like Kyle Busch. He's losing his crew chief for the rest of the year because his tire came off. We all knew as soon as the tire came off, we knew, okay, that's your penalty. Now, it's a little bit different when you're wrecking a guy, but if you blatantly right hook a guy, I feel like there should be a baseline penalty for just intentionally wrecking someone. And then depending on the danger level, that penalty should be upped.
That's fair. So go back to, I don't think Kenseth should have been suspended because somebody needed to take control of the garage. That's the wrong way of looking at it, but that's where I felt on that.
Yeah, I get where you're saying.
I don't feel like Byron should have been suspended.
He accepted that.
Yeah, I don't think he cared that much, but no. I don't think Byron should have been suspended because he should have been parked in that race, and I think that would have been enough.
Yeah.
And then the Gordon thing, he was trying to hit him in the left rear, and then Boyer went on the apron. So it's a little different. And they were going like 35 mile an hour in the middle of the corner by the time it actually happened.
Still, though, I think that's one of those situations you intentionally wreck a guy, especially, and I think this would be played a part in it too, is do you just take that one guy out? Do you take other people with you? And that's another reason, another strike against Bubba is like he took someone else out. Like there should be a precedent set. I mean, my problem with this whole thing is NASCAR, they said we're reviewing it. What happened to the days of like the big red truck when we had Winston and then the Oval Office when we had Nextel? Where you got a meeting after the race. And then, we don't have that anymore. NASCAR just reviews the situation and then throws out a penalty midweek. I just wish there was more, like we've been saying in the past 3 weeks. There needs to be an iron fist in the sport to police it better. And maybe it wouldn't be the wild, wild west all the time. Maybe just a wild.
I love your idea of having a baseline and then going out there based off severity. And it goes back to what I said earlier, which was NASCAR needs to, over the offseason, make it clear and obvious this is not going to be tolerated anymore.
What's there to review?
Down.
What is there to review?
There's not a damn thing to review.
In the back of the day, they didn't need to review shit. They were like, they used common sense and they're like, yeah, this is what happened. But now I feel like everybody looks at all the technicalities of it, and it's like when you're dealing with human emotion, you can't deal with technicalities in my opinion. And this is very much a human emotion, and you got to handle it like you would a kid, getting sent to the principal's office.
And a fucking race car driver with a 3,400-pound weapon immediately falling off his rocker and just trying to kill someone. I mean, that's not what he had in mind, but that's what he could have done. Is zero tolerance.
I think, like I said, I think there needs to be a Mike Hilton type person in there to be like, yo, Bubba, what the fuck? Are you fucking R-word right now? Like, bro, and I think Bubba would sit there and be like, yeah, that was fucking dumb. That was really fucking dumb. Nowadays, I feel like he'll get a phone call or he'll get, and the fine will get handed down and, it'll be like, it's not as personal. And I feel like it's not as effective as back in the day with this. It's just, zero tolerance for it.
But he'll get 100 points and $100,000 and we'll all move on. And
I guess so.
Something fucking ridiculous is going to happen in a week or two. So,
yeah.
Oh, well.